From crowning an underdog club from Europe to winning the most competitive club competition, the Champions League, and becoming the first ever managed to win all the major European titles, we're diving deep into the incredible journey of the special one, José Mourinho. Stay tuned as we unravel the tale of how Mourinho became the legend he is today. Let's get going. José Mourinho is a famous football manager who was born in Setúbal, Portugal. His father, Felix Mourinho, was also a footballer who played as a goalkeeper for several Portuguese clubs. His mother, Maria Julia, was a teacher who encouraged him to study. Mourinho attended the Technical University of Lisbon, where he studied sports science and obtained a degree. He also played football as a midfielder, but he was not very successful as a player. Mourinho decided to pursue a career in coaching instead of playing. He started as an assistant manager at Estrela de Amadora and Ourense, two small clubs in Portugal. In 1992, he got a chance to work with Bobby Robson, a legendary English manager who had joined Sporting CP. Mourinho became his interpreter and assistant and groomed himself. He followed Robson to Porto in 1994, where they won 2 league titles and 1 cup. Mourinho also impressed Robson with his tactical analysis and scouting reports. When Robson moved to Barcelona in 1996, he took Mourinho with him. Mourinho became an important member of the coaching staff. He stayed in Barcelona until 2000, when he left to become the head coach of Benfica. He led the team to a second-place finish in the Primeira Liga in his first season and was then hired by Porto in 2002. It was the Champions League run-in 2003-04 that elevated his profile beyond Europe. José Mourinho became famous after leading Porto to an unexpected UEFA Champions League triumph in 2004. He eliminated Manchester United, Lyon, and Deportivo La Coruña on the way to the final, where he beat Monaco 3-0 in Gelsenkirchen. He called himself the Special One and often clashed with rival managers, referees, and the media. Mourinho joined Chelsea in 2004 and became the first manager in Chelsea's history to win the Premier League title, breaking Arsenal's unbeaten run and setting a record for the fewest goals conceded. He also won the League Cup, beating Liverpool in extra time. He repeated his success in the following season, winning the Premier League again with a record points tally and another League Cup. He also reached the semi-finals of the Champions League, losing to Liverpool on penalties. In his third season, he won the FA Cup for the first time, defeating Manchester United in the final. He also finished second in the Premier League and reached the semi-finals of the Champions League again, losing to Liverpool by 1 goal. He left the club in 2007 amid reports of disagreements with club owner Roman Abramovich. Mourinho's time in Inter Milan was one of the most successful and memorable periods of his career. He joined the club in 2008 after leaving Chelsea and inherited a team that had dominated Serie A for 4 consecutive seasons. He added some key players such as Samuel Eto'o, Wesley Sneijder-Lúcio, and Diego Milito, and transformed Inter into a formidable force in Europe as well. His greatest achievement was winning the treble of Serie A, Coppa Italia, and Champions League in 2010, becoming the first and only Italian club to do so. He did it by overcoming some of the strongest teams in the continent, such as Chelsea, CSKA Moscow, and Bayern Munich. But his most remarkable feat was defeating Barcelona, the reigning European champions and the best team in the world at that time. Barcelona, coached by Pep Guardiola, played a style of football known as tiki-taka, and this style of play helped him to win 6 trophies in 2009, including a 6-2 thrashing of Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Mourinho devised a strategy to counter their dominance based on defensive discipline, tactical flexibility, and psychological warfare. He provoked and challenged Barcelona before and after the games, using mind games and controversial statements to unsettle them. He also adapted his formation and tactics according to the circumstances, switching from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-1-1. He exploited Barcelona's weaknesses, such as their high defensive line, their lack of physicality, and their reliance on Lionel Messi. In the first leg of the semi-final at San Siro, Inter won 3-1 with goals from Sneijder-Makan and Milito. They defended by parking the bus and attacked with efficiency, exposing Barcelona's flaws. In the second leg at Camp Nou, Inter lost 1-0, but held on to their aggregate lead despite playing with 10 men for more than an hour after Thiago Motta was sent off, They defended with courage and determination, frustrating Barcelona's attempts to score. Mourinho celebrated Inter's victory by running onto the pitch and pumping his fists in the air. He had cracked the anti-tiki-taka code and proved himself to be one of the best managers in history. Mourinho was unveiled as the Real Madrid coach days later. It was clear that Real had to stop Barca's dominance first in order to start their project. Mourinho: "If I am hated in Barcelona, that's their problem." The Mourinho's-Pep rivalry reached its peak in Spain when Mourinho became Real Madrid's manager in 2010. Mourinho challenged Guardiola with his pragmatic and psychological approach, both on and off the pitch. He also adapted his tactics to counter Barcelona's possession and movement by using fouls, counterattacks, and defensive discipline. Mourinho would exhaust Barca and Pep in search of a response. Guardiola is a fantastic coach. He wins a few matches, and people think he is a philosopher, but I have won 2 Champions Leagues, and I am no philosopher, just a normal guy who works hard. Sometimes you see beautiful things in the pitch, but you win nothing. For me, football is about winning and not just about playing beautifully. The clashes between the two teams were intense and violent, with players, coaches, and staff involved in fights and arguments. The most infamous incident was when Mourinho poked Guardiola's assistant, Tito Vilanova, in the eye during a Spanish Super Cup match. "I can't coach 10 players against Barcelona's 12. It's impossible." I hope one day Pep has the chance of winning a clean championship with no scandals. In their first season, Barcelona won La Liga by 4 points and thrashed Real Madrid 5-0 in their first meeting. They also beat them in the Champions League semi-final, but lost the Copa del Rey final to them. In their second season, Real Madrid turned the tables and won La Liga with a record-breaking campaign. They scored 121 goals, earned 100 points, and had a plus 89 goal difference. They'd also won at Camp Nou for the first time in 4 years, practically sealing the title. Mourinho's pressure and tactics wore out Barcelona. Guardiola announced his departure at the end of the season, citing mental fatigue as the reason. He took a year off from football. Pep: "I'm drained. I need to fill up. 4 years is enough." The big leader of the peak Barcelona domination left at the end of the season and ended Barcelona's golden era. José Mourinho left Real Madrid in 2013, after 3 seasons in charge of the Spanish club. He joined Manchester United in 2016, won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season, as well as the Community Shield. He also finished second in the Premier League in his second season, behind Manchester City. However, he also faced criticism for his defensive style of play, his treatment of some players, and his public complaints about the club's transfer policy. After Man Ut's 3-0 loss to Spurs in 2018, Ghost demanded a reporter put respect on his name. "I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect." What's your take on Mourinho's impact on the game? Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Share this video with fellow fans and subscribe to our channel.